I want you to go to your boss and say this: man, my pay is working out great. I am able to pay all my bills and even save a little bit. But boss, I'd like to be able to save even more. Could I have a raise? Would that work? It's not going to work in a million years. How do you get a raise? Hello and welcome to the Total Wealth Academy video podcast. I call it the video podcast because we also have our radio show that is podcast at totalwealthacademy.com. So there's two different podcasts, the radio show and of course these videos. And you're welcome to check out both of those at totalwealthacademy.com. Today, what we're going to talk about is where money comes from. This is one of my favorite subjects because it gives you motivation to get out there and help and serve other people. Let me explain what I mean by that. The first thing that I want to ask you is, where does money come from? Where does money come from? And what happens when I do this, whether it's 30 people or 3,000 people, I get answers like money comes from the government, money comes from banks, money comes from the big corporations. And in reality, those three answers are incorrect. Think about it deeply. Do the big corporations have any money? The answer is no. Whose money do they have? They got our money. We bought the stocks. That's our money. Now, they control it, but they didn't come up with that money out of thin air. It came from us. You think about the banks. Do the banks have any money? And the answer is, again, no. The banks don't have any money. Whose money do the banks have? Ours. That's right. Now, let's talk about the government. Now, this one's always funny to me. Money comes from the government. People, our government doesn't have any money. We're trillions of dollars in debt. Money does not come from the government, except in very, very rare cases, such as what happened during COVID. But you saw the results of that: inflation, higher interest rates. It was a catastrophe printing money like that. So if money doesn't come from the government, it doesn't come from the big corporations, it doesn't come from the bank, where does money come from? You've got to think about this in the simplest of terms. You want more money in your pocket. That's the goal. Where is that money going to come from? If you want more money in your pocket, where's it going to come from? Is there some big pile of unclaimed money out there waiting for you to just go grab it? The answer is no. Here's the correct answer, and it's so simple. And once you understand it, it empowers you and, again, makes you want to get out there and help and serve other people. Money comes from one place and one place only: other people. Now, I gave you a couple of clues to that answer, but that's where money comes from: other people. It's where the government gets it, through taxes. It's where the banks get it, through your deposits. It's where the big corporations get it. You buy the stocks, you buy their product. They're getting your money. Money comes from other people. If you want more money in your pocket, it has to come out of someone else's pocket. And to deserve that, what you want to do is either add value to other people's lives or provide a service to other people that deserves them giving you their money. In the real estate context, this is the difference between the flipper, the person who buys a house, fixes it up, and sells it. That's adding value to the real estate. That's adding value to other people's lives. Because most people cannot go out there. People think, oh, I'll just go buy a beat up house and fix it up. That's a skill. And it takes a lot of skill to do that correctly and economically. So when you go out there as a flipper, what you're doing is you're adding value to another person's life. They're going out and you're going out you're going out and buying a house that's all beat up, that someone couldn't even live in, fixing it up, making it functional, clean, safe, and then selling it to a family who couldn't have done that on their own. You're adding value to that family's life. And as a result, they give you their money. That's adding value with real estate. The other side of real estate is the service side. And this is where wealth grows, where wealth begins. It's through rental property. Whether it's a group of single-family houses or a big 500-unit apartment complex or a senior living complex or a self-storage complex, a strip shopping center, you're leasing that property to another person and they're paying you their money to use that facility. So what you're doing is using your real estate to provide a service. You're providing a clean, functional, safe place for a family or business to lease something that they probably couldn't afford on their own. They couldn't afford to go build a commercial building. They couldn't afford to go build a house or an apartment complex. They need us as professional investors. And what you do is you just figure out how to help as many people as possible. There's a joke out there where a person says, "Oh man, helping other people doesn't work. I tried it once." You can't try it once. If you want to make a lot of money, you have to help a lot of other people. That's why we love the 200-unit, 300-unit, 400-unit apartment complex, because we can help a lot of other people all at the same time. That's where you get rich. That's where you build wealth. That's where you build financial security. So what you want to think about is look at your job. You get paid to do your job. If you got a job, you're doing something someone else does not want to do, or you're leverage for that person. They're paying you $100,000 a year while they make $400,000 a year off your efforts. You're leverage for that person either because they don't want to do the job or because they're making massive amounts of money off your efforts. But again, where does the money come from? If you got a job, where's it come from? Where's the money come from? Other people. In fact, your business, whatever business you're in, if you've got a job, you're out there in one way or another helping and serving other people. But the problem is, if all you have is a job, you're deleveraged. You're actually leveraged for somebody else. And they're getting wealthy off of your activities while you just collect a paycheck and remain as a job, J-O-B, just over broke. They pay you just enough to get by. I love this particular request. I want you to do this tomorrow. I want you to go to your boss and say this: "Man, my pay is working out great. I am able to pay all my bills and even save a little bit. But boss, I'd like to be able to save even more. Could I have a raise?" Would that work? It's not going to work in a million years. How do you get a raise? You go, "Man, boss, I need to buy a new car. My car is breaking down. I've missed work. I'm late to work. I need a raise so I can buy a new car." And they give you a raise just enough to buy a new car. You were living paycheck to paycheck before. They give you a raise. You go buy a more expensive car. You're back to living paycheck to paycheck. And that's how it works. They're only going to give you enough to survive. Just over broke. J-O-B. So if you want to be wealthy, your focus has to be on helping and serving others with, I suggest, real estate. Why real estate? Because 9 out of 10 millionaires in the United States used real estate to become so. So it is a highly effective tool for building wealth. And it allows you to help and serve other people in a leveraged way, meaning one person helping, say you buy a 400-unit apartment complex or invest in a 400-unit apartment complex. Very difficult for one person to buy a 400-unit apartment complex. It's usually 40 or 50 people coming together to do that. That's what we do at Total Wealth Academy. When we buy these big apartment complexes, it's 40 or 50 of the members pooling their money to be able to buy these big apartment complexes. But bottom line, you're leveraged. You're helping a lot of other people, and therefore you end up making a lot of money. So again, where does money come from? One place and one place only. That's other people. And you've just got to figure out a way to help and serve other people that deserves them giving you their money, and you have to be leveraged at it so that you can make a lot of money. And real estate kind of is built-in leverage. If you don't understand leverage, leverage is just when one small thing controls a massive amount of other things. Think about going out and buying a $200,000 house for $10,000 down. You took $10,000 and you control a $200,000 asset. That's leverage. And there's multiple forms of leverage. There's money leverage. There's knowledge leverage. Like when you join Total Wealth Academy and suddenly, because you've got a wealth coach, you know everything about real estate investing. That's leverage. You're leveraging yourself. And then there's time, leveraging your time. So an example would be, right now while I'm chatting with you, I'm 40 people looking for real estate. I have 20 real estate agents and 20 wholesalers that are looking for deals for me. While I'm chatting with you right now, or I'm on vacation, I'm out of the country, I'm leveraged. One person controlling 40 other people. And by the way, I don't have any payroll whatsoever. But one person controlling 40 other people, that's leverage. And you've got to be leveraged to succeed in a capitalist society. And real estate allows you to do that. So remember, money comes from one place and one place only, other people. You've got to either add value or provide a service to other people that deserves them giving you their money. At Total Wealth Academy, we teach people how to use real estate to help and serve other people so that they get wealthy. All right, that's it. Again, if you want to check out the rest of the podcast, go to TotalWealthAcademy.com. You can see our radio show podcast as well as this video podcast. If you're interested in building wealth for yourself and your family with real estate, there's a link below where you can register for a free sample real estate investor class so that you can kind of see what we're doing, see how you fit into it, and see if there's something that would be beneficial to you and your family. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.